Hey guys, welcome back. So, we got another load in the trailer here. We're going to be delivering this later. That's one full cord there. We pulled that out of the kiln, I don't know, about an hour ago. So, I did put another load in the kiln, but I haven't fired it up yet. I got the heat on in the garage at the moment. Let's do some moisture tests on them. I haven't done that yet, so I'm curious to see what they are. So let's get in there. Oh yeah, nice and warm in here. Tell you what, it has just been cold. I mean, I think right now it's like 5 degrees even with the sun out. Still gets down into the negatives at night. I think last night was like -5. So yeah, there's full cord in there. So these two totes is what I pulled out. They might still have some heat on them. They're not cold. Yeah, they've still got some warmth. It's got some nice cracks on them. It's pretty cool though. I wish I would have been filming when I pulled them out and stuck them outside. You could just see the steam just pouring off of them. It was pretty cool. Or the heat, I should say. So, yeah, I got another 5 in there currently. You know, I was thinking about it. I could, obviously, as if you've been following along long enough, you've known that, you don't know if you'll be able to see anything here. Oh, maybe. You know, I stack them widthways this way, that if I put them long ways, I can get 8 in here. The only reason I don't do that is because the way I have it set up, I got a fan on the bottom, top, same thing on the other side. The air flows nicely this way. What I think I'm going to do though, I know in the middle here, I can get too high. I would be able to stack too high if I didn't like insulate the kiln on the top and the floor, because I lost probably 1 inch on the bottom and the top, that I'd be able to double stack 8 in here. So it'd be 16 versus just 5. So I might put 2 in the middle on the next kiln run. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I think I will, because I got to order for actual kiln dried wood. So of 2 full cords, I'm going to need to get more than just 5 in there. So yeah, so that brings me to the moisture content. So I ended up getting a new moisture meter. It's the Tesmen, hopefully that focuses, the Tesmen TWM-186. So it's a pin type moisture meter like most of them are. I think this is going to be my new favorite moisture meter, just because of how it's shaped. It's shaped like a pen, right? You can put this in your pocket. You know, this can latch on. It's not one of those square kind of bulky ones. It still has a lot of the features as a lot of them do have, as far as changing the setting for the different species of wood. So what I have in that one is primarily hard maple, ash. I think there's some elm in there. So I'm gonna grab a couple. We'll test a couple of the outside of them, because this was all split. I don't know, a month and a half ago maybe at the longest, so it's fairly new. But obviously it just all went through the kiln, so let's get this on the right setting here, which would be setting 2. All right, let me grab a couple pieces here, if I can get some out. See if we can get a bigger piece. Both of these look like ash. So let's test them and see. We'll just do the outside, then I'll probably split this one. But you can see a nice crack down the middle. So this is color coded too. So when it's like in the, I think it's below 15%, it's green, and it switches to orange when it's 15 to 25, and then 25 and up, it's red. And if it doesn't read, like right now, it's not reading. I don't know if you can see that, but it says low, which I knew that was going to be the case. Nothing. Let's check this one out, and I'll split this one open and see. So I ran the kiln for 4 days. I did, yeah, nothing. I did a little bit different. I think I talked about it in my last video. I did 110, 120. I did 110 for a day, 120 for a day, 130 for a day, and then I went up to 135 for the last day. So I only ran, this has only been in there for 4 days. And honestly, I think I got pretty good results. Let me grab an axe here. Pretty happy with it though. The moisture level in the, or the humidity level in the kiln for the, when I just pulled it out a little bit ago, was higher than what it normally would be, like on day 5. And we're gonna see right now if that affected this at all. The inside rating. That split there. Let's try that again. There. All right. So we'll test it all, outside and inside, just to make sure we got the right piece. So that's, this should be the inside. So 15.4. This is the outside, I believe. Yeah, nothing. It's still pretty warm, so I don't know if that's going to affect the reading or not. So the inside of this one says 17, 15, 17. So yeah, she's fairly dry. So 4 days, yeah, the air's drier because of the cold and the snow and whatnot. So I'm pretty happy with that. So now, when I did put them in, if you remember, there was a lot of snow on here, so that kind of affected, I think, how it worked, the drying process, that is. So. No, I like this moisture meter. It's nice. I mean, I can literally stick it right easily in my pocket. So here's a different one that I have. So as you can see, skinny, easily fits in your pocket. This would too, but I feel like, you know, you wear a lot of shirts, you know, that has a pocket, you just slide that in there. Yeah, you could put this in there, but this I'll actually carry, where this is kind of bulky. I think I'll be using this. I'm going to use this, I think, the most. Well, I can set this in my truck, you know, take it on my deliveries. I'll probably end up hanging it probably off the kiln, so every time I, you know, if I monitor the load, you know, throughout the process, I can take this quick and test it. I mean, I have like 6 moisture meters, but honestly, this is the one I'll probably use the most. Reason being is it's the most affordable one. I'm pretty sure it's the cheaper of all the ones that are out there. I mean, they range from probably $10 up to probably a couple hundred, and I believe this is the most affordable one. So I think this is the one I'm going to promote the most. It works just like all the other ones. It seems pretty well built as far as like the outside casing. It's easy to read with the LCD screen on there. It's got the different settings for different species of wood. Yeah, you can do it on building materials as well. So yeah, as far as, you know, being pretty cost effective, and it works, I mean, that's nice, you know. So for the average homeowner that does want to spend 30, 50, 70, 100 bucks, I know this is, I think they're on sale. They're under 20 bucks. They might even be cheaper than $15. So for 15 bucks, you know, if you're a homeowner and you want to make sure your wood's dry, you know, get one of these. So I'm going to have a link down in the description for this pin type moisture meter. It is an Amazon affiliate link, so if you do end up purchasing one, I will get a percentage of whatever that may be. I don't recommend many products, and that's going to be definitely one of them. I'll use that probably every time I do a moisture test on my kiln wood or even my seasoned wood, just to make sure that it's, you know, good and dry. So yeah, check them out. Check the link down below. Like I said, they're very, very cost effective. So and it works. You know, that's the biggest thing. There's a lot of, to me, I think there's a lot of gimmick products out there that, you know, these, who knows how long it's going to work. I mean, I've only had this for a week, and I've used it, and I've compared them to my other ones. They all vary. So I know that one goes down to as low as, I think it's 6.8, which is extremely dry, and all the way up to, I want to say mid 50s. So, and anything higher than that's ridiculous. So yeah, let's yeah, check those people out. You know, check out the link and see what you guys think. If you're interested in one of those, I'd recommend them. It's, like I said, it's worth the money, because I've used it on all my wood that I've pulled out, the wood that I've put in. I didn't moisture test the wood before it went in. I knew they were all probably in the upper 20s, because when I cut them, they were fairly dry. So not dry enough, but you know, the cordwood that was probably sitting for about almost a year. I think it was about 9 months. So they kind of dried on their own a little bit. Obviously the inside's not going to dry very well, but kiln worked at that setting. This batch here, I think I'm going to do, this is just going to be seasoned wood. That's what I'm selling it as. I'm going to run it, I think, at 125 for 5 days. I'm going to try that this time and see. I know it's still going to dry, but I'm curious to see how that goes. Like I said, the only time I get it above 140, 150 is when I'm selling it as kiln dried wood, you know, where you want to kill off the mold, the bugs, and so on. So that's not the case on this, so I don't need to do that. You know, baking it almost at 130 is good enough. So like I said, I'm going to probably do 125 for the straight 5 days. Exactly 5 days, pull it out, put the next batch in, which will actually be kiln dried wood. You know, then I think that cycle I'm gonna do, I'm not sure yet. I think I'll do the 125 for 3 days, and then I'm gonna let it just crank wide open for the remaining 2 to get it above 140 on the internal piece of the wood. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So 125 and then above 140. Just let it crank the 160 for, you know, however long. You know, because that first 12 hours, you know, it's going to take it probably to get the core of the wood up to temp. You know, but once it gets there, it holds pretty good. But when I let it just wide open, I mean, it takes a lot of BTUs to get it up there, because I'm venting the whole time. The only time it stops venting really is when the humidity level inside the kiln gets really low, which I'm hoping by the time I put them in there that, you know, when it gets to that point, it's fairly dry. So, and thankfully the wood that's going in there is not like 40-50%, because then, you know, I'd probably let it stay wide open the whole time. But then you got the risk of case hardening and so on. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you think that the 110, 120, 130, 135 was a good schedule, it obviously worked. I'm pretty happy with the results on that. So, but yeah, I think the actual kiln cycle that I'm going to do for kiln dried wood, I'm going to do 125 for 3 days and then wide open for the remaining 2. So, but this batch I'm going to do what I say, 125 for 5 days and just let her go. So I think that's a good range. The hotter it is in there, the better though, because the moisture levels, they get baked out, the moisture goes out. But just to have it seasoned wood, that's kind of the sweet spot, is 120, 130 degrees, so it doesn't case harden. Because the goal is to get the internal of the wood up to temp faster and let it sit there so like it'll acclimate and then it'll seep out the water. If you heat it, unless you have a kiln that you can bake the wood to over 200 degrees, you're just going to have the biggest cracks in the wood and you're going to get the moisture out. I can't do that with my setup, so I can't heat it. I would love to be able to go to 220 or even hotter now, like some firewood kilns do. That would cut my drying time in half. You know, that'd be freaking sweet, but I don't have the power plant to do that. And I'm okay with what I got going on. So, and if I do end up putting, you know, 6, 7 totes in there for kiln dried wood, like if I stack it, I may even let it go 6 days, 6 full days, because now I got more wood in there. I don't know if that's going to make a big difference or not. You would think so. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But this cycle is going to be running now for 5 days once I eventually started here, which will be shortly. So yeah, but yeah, let me know what you guys think of this new moisture meter. Like I said, check out the link in my description if you even remotely are looking at one. I would recommend them. Like I said, even when I first got it, I'm like, yeah, I really like how the size of it versus being like a traditional like rectangle shape. This is, you know, more of like a tube. It's very easy to use. It doesn't have like, you know, 6 different buttons. You look at the sheet that it came with, and it's very basic. You know, most of us, you know, the guys that are, you know, people that have watched me on YouTube here, you're into firewood, I would imagine, right? So you're gonna know what setting you need to be on. You turn it on. It's either 1 or 2 for firewood. 2, I think, for me is going to be the most used, because that's primarily the species of wood that I use, that I sell. So I go to, you know, number 2, put it to the wood, done deal. So but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if any of you guys actually have one of these. I'm pretty sure these are fairly new. I'm not 100% on when these actually came out, but yeah, check them out. I'd recommend it. So I don't recommend much on this channel, as you know, unless I've used it. I've used this for over a week, and I like it. It hasn't been where, you know, I test it, come back a day later, test the same thing, and it's way off. It's the same. So but yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and as always, keep burning.